Hey people, how's it going? It's Jason Rev here. Sorry, today's not my day. I just did like a whole video reading of everything that I was going to talk about, and to find out that the microphone was not working and it didn't record. So I got to start over again. It hasn't been a good day. I am doing this much later than I wanted to, and not due to my own reasons, just because people can't fucking make it places on time. And yeah, today's not going to be a happy topic. Today I'm going to, yeah, as a lot of people know, or maybe don't know, they'll learn. I'm a big fan of, or was a big fan of Joss Whedon's work. Not saying I'm not a fan of his work. I enjoy the shows. I think they're well written. The acting is great. I just do not know if I can watch them again because of the allegations that have been coming for a long time. I know his wife made, there were big allegations from his wife and him, and I understand that. Like, that's a couple. That one I was willing to be like, okay, you're kind of shitty, dude, but this is you and your wife's. This is your family. This is your issue. Like, it sucks. You don't seem like you're a good guy, but that was your domestic issues, okay? And then the Ray Fisher stuff came out. And I was like, fuck, that doesn't seem like him. I haven't heard really much, I haven't heard people fucking always, whenever I go to conventions and panels and like Nathan Fillion's like, I'll answer the phone and work with him right away. But, Charisma's always kind of said things over the years in cons, but like she's always said that she would work with him again. And then she posted on Twitter yesterday a note in support of Ray Fisher, and she just came forth with all the feelings, and it's it makes you like, Joss, you're disgusting, man. Like, what? I don't get why people in positions of power feel the need to put people down. I have been in a position where I have had somebody do that to me, and I did not know what to do either. I was belittled, mocked. There were times when they would have, if there was any, like, I was a manager, so my staff, if they screwed up, which happens, there'd be meetings held with everybody, so I could be beaten in, verbally and, whipped in front of everybody. Where if other people's staff screwed up, or their departments screwed up, they would be taken aside separately. And had I, known what, not even known, I was an adult. I'm a fucking man. But you're taught internally, you don't fucking rat. You suck it up. You keep going. You push through. You don't fucking run to HR about little things like that because you don't believe that they're going to help you. And yeah, and so when I heard and read what Charisma said yesterday, it totally brought back those things in myself too. Which I'm not here to discuss that. I'm gonna discuss hers and just talk about how, yeah, fuck you, Joss Whedon. Fuck, you have the talent of a fucking modern day Shakespeare. You can write such beautiful characters, and you wrote one of the greatest female characters of all time in Buffy Summers. That show is like a fucking touchstone for people. Like, I know people that hold that so dearly to themselves and watch that all the time, and now it's tainted. It's fucking tainted because of what you did, man. You're fuck. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna read what Charisma said, like what she sent, because I think it's very important. I think hearing it read out loud might just make the words that much stronger. For nearly 2 decades, I've held my tongue and even made excuses for content for certain events that traumatized me to this day. Joss Whedon abused his power on numerous occasions while working together on the sets of Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. While he found his misconduct amusing, it only served to intensify my performance anxiety, disempowering me and alienate me from my peers. The disturbing incidents triggered a chronic physical condition for which I still suffer. It is with a beating, heavy heart that I say I coped in isolation and at times destructively. Last summer, when Ray Fisher publicly accused Joss of abuse and unprofessional behavior toward the cast and crew during reshoots on the Justice League set in 2017, it gutted me. Joss has a history of being casually cruel. He has created hostile and toxic work environments since his early career. I know because I experienced it firsthand repeatedly. Like his ongoing passive-aggressive threats to fire me, which wreak havoc on a young actor's self-esteem, and callously called me fat to colleagues when I was 4 months pregnant, weighing 126 pounds. He was mean and biting, disparaging about others openly, and often played favorites, pitting people against one another to compete and vie for his attention and approval. He called me in for a sit-down meeting to interrogate and berate me regarding a rosary tattoo I got to help me feel more spiritually grounded in an increasingly volatile work climate that affected me physically. Joss intentionally refused multiple calls from my agents, making it impossible to connect with him to tell him the news that I was pregnant. Finally, once Joss was apprised of the situation, he requested a meeting with me. In that closed-door meeting, he asked me if I was going to keep it, and manipulatively weaponized my womanhood and faith against me. He proceeded to attack my character, mocked my religious beliefs, accused me of sabotaging the show, and then unceremoniously fired me the following season once I gave birth. At 6 months pregnant, I was asked to report to work at 1 a.m. after my doctor recommended shortening my work hours. Due to long and physically demanding days and the emotional stress of having to defend my needs as a working pregnant woman, I began to experience Braxton Hicks contractions. It was clear to me that 1 a.m. call was retaliatory. Goes on, this is the second post, part of the post. Back then, I felt powerless and alone, with no other option. I swallowed the mistreatment and carried on. After all, I had a baby on the way, and I was the primary breadwinner of my growing family. Unfortunately, all this was happening during one of the most wonderful times in new motherhood. All that promise and joy sucked right out, and Joss was the vampire. Despite the harassment, a part of me still sought his validation. I made excuses for his behavior and repressed my own pain. I even stated publicly at conventions that I'd work with him again. Only recently, after years of therapy and a wake-up call from the Time's Up movement, do I understand the complexities of this demoralized thinking. It is impossible to understand the psyche without enduring the abuse. Our society and industry vilify the victims and glorify the abusers for their accomplishments. The onus is on the abused with an expectation to accept and adapt to being employable. No accountability on the transgressor who sails on unscathed, unrepentant, remorseless. These memories and more have weighed on my soul like bricks for nearly half of my life. I wish I said something sooner. I wish I had the composure and courage all those years ago, but I muted myself in shame and conditioned silence. With tears welling, I feel an overwhelming sense of responsibility to Ray and others for remaining private about my experience with Joss and the suffering it has caused me. It is abundantly evident that Joss has persisted in his harmful actions, continuing to create wreckage in his wake. My hope now, by finally coming forward about these experiences, is to create space for the healing of others who I know have experienced similar serialized abuses of power. Recently, I participated in Warner Media's Justice League investigation because I believe Ray to be a person of integrity who is telling the truth. His firing as Cyborg in The Flash was the last straw for me. Although I am not shocked, I am deeply pained by it. It troubles and saddens me that in 2021, professionals still have to choose between whistleblowing in the workplace and job security. It has taken me so long to muster the courage to make this statement publicly. The gravity of it is not lost on me. As a single mother whose family's livelihood is dependent on my craft, I'm scared. Despite my fear about its impact on my future, I can no longer remain silent. This is overdue and necessary. It is time. Bravo. Bravo, Charisma Carpenter, for saying that. I know it fucking took a lot of guts because it's not easy to do. It's not easy. You get a fucking victim mentality and it's not easy, and people fucking suck. But Joss needs to go get fucking help. He needs to realize the effects he's had on people, and he needs to realize how he has harmed people. And he needs to wake the fuck up. And he needs to get therapy, and he needs to better himself. That man that you made yourself seem like, you need to be that. You need to be that. I'm thankful that he's created his work and all of the people that I have in my life due to his work. I'm sorry for all the people that got hurt while he was doing his work, because there seems to be a trail of them. And it is just disgusting. And like, so I don't know if I will ever be able to watch his work again. I mean, oh God, I love Buffy. I can never not watch the Avengers again. So I'm gonna have to be able to distance myself from the man and his work, because his work can be brilliant, but the man was fucking deeply flawed and a vicious asshole. Because I know people like that who are like that. I've had friends and colleagues who have been attacked by people like that as well. People in power who have been cruel to them. It was ironic that one of my friends, the person that was our boss before, the one that was bad to me was bad to her, and it was horrible. And then I watched it and was like, whoa. And then, of course, didn't say anything because fucking, you're a coward. And then it happened to me with the new person right after. And you don't know what to do in that situation. I had no idea what to do in that situation. I'd never been bullied in a workplace before. I don't get bullied. I mean, I'm not Joe Popular. I'm not the friggin' coolest dude in the world, but people didn't really bully me growing up. I had a personality that kind of adapted. I mean, I wasn't, I was just middle of the road kind of guy that, I'm not the cool guy that I am now. Sorry, I wanted to bring a little levity because, memories and stuff like that. Things you wish you could do, things you wish you could have done, differently, but you move forward. So with Charisma, I'm hoping that her letter helped. And Joss Whedon, I don't think you're ever going to get fucking work again. Well, click subscribe and click like if you want, and I'm going to post some other stuff, I guess. Anyway, sorry guys, it's just not an upbeat topic, Fuck you, Joss Whedon. Fuck you for tainting the stuff that we fucking love.